Hi, your friendly school librarian here, Mr. Sikora. I walk around downtown Bel Air all the time, and I'm constantly intrigued by this. Look at the pillars, and the signs for being something to do with the group called the Odd Fellows. You would think that this would be the most interesting building on this street. But believe it or not, directly across the street, I think, is a more interesting building. Because directly across the street, well, that has some history. Some interesting history to our schools, as well as American history, and a little bit of even a dark history. But before I get into that dark history, let's first talk about what this is. This was in 1811, this address. I don't know if it's the same building, although it is stone and stucco, which is what the building was that was built back then. It was the Hartford Academy. All right, and then in 1815, it changed its name from the Hartford Academy to the Bel Air Academy. So you're looking at kind of this first high school. So it changed its name in 1815, and then in 1882, so it was there for a while. In 1882, it went to... The school moved over here on Gordon Street in downtown Bel Air, directly behind what is now Bel Air Elementary School. And a lot of people kind of know this old brick building, kind of sat unused for a long time. It's now being converted into modern fancy pants apartments. So again, in 1882 it was built. By 1907 it renamed itself Bel Air High School, a very familiar term. At that same time, classes were happening here and happening at the last building we were looking at 24 Pennsylvania Avenue, across from the architecturally interesting Oddfellows building. Now, this lasted for a long time, until around 1950, this arrangement. And at that point, we got what was the somewhat modern high school that maybe some of your parents went to. I know my wife went to the Bel Air High School that was there before. I think it's now where the fields are at Bel Air High School. But the new building that people are now most familiar with was built, I believe, in 2010. But let's go back to where we were. So, yeah. This is where a little bit of history happened. Right here at this address. Again, not sure if this is the actual building. It could have been just over a little bit or on the other side or wherever. But this is where that Bel Air Academy was. And who was Bel Air Academy's most famous or, well, infamous student? John Wilkes Booth, the assassin of Abraham Lincoln. So, right here it is. All right, and today we're going to actually take a look at a book dealing with the aftermath of that assassination. The book I'm going to talk to you about today, dealing with Lincoln, is Chasing Lincoln's Killer by James Swanson. Now, this is a really cool book. This was a bestseller, and I think it works so well because it reads almost like a thriller. There's a ton of action, and one of the greatest parts about it is that as you go through the book, even this digital version that you check out, it's filled with excellent photos of the people that were involved. Newspaper articles, posters, all kinds of various archival materials that help tell the story. Okay, so it's a visually entertaining, it's historically interesting, and it's kind of action packed for what it is. And they chase John Wilkes Booth through D.C., Maryland, Virginia. It's 12 days of high stakes pursuit. All right. So I highly recommend this book by James Swanson, Chasing Lincoln's Killer. Now, the cool thing about this book is that we have it in Sora, which you have access to. I've shown you at this point how to get it. But you also have access to not just the actual book, but the audiobook. So you can choose whether to read it or to listen to it. And if you like going on walks and things, I love listening to audiobooks while I'm going on a walk. So give that a whirl too. I kind of forgot they blocked. They have a gate up. You can't get to John Wilkes Booth's house, Tudor Hall. Dang it! Oh my goodness, I can smell One Tempo Brothers from here, and I think I'm gonna have to go get some for lunch. It is delicious smelling.